Item 7, consent calendar. All items are considered routine or implement an earlier council action may be enacted by one motion. There'll be no separate discussion unless requested by council member, citizen, or staff. Staff has requested that item 7 be pulled, and they'll provide an oral update on that. 7F. Excuse me, 7F. Okay. Any other items to be pulled or action from council?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. In discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 7F, adopt resolution pledging net revenue sufficient to fund payments for loans received through Clean Water State Revolving Fund for various water quality projects.
Honorable Mayor, Council Member, good evening. Based on your direction and the city manager direction being very aggressive in our intent to bring federal available funding under the Recovery and Reinvestment Act approved by Congress this year. During your March meeting, you approved and for the city manager to apply for wastewater and storm related project to apply for grant or low interest loan to the Water Resource Control Board. The department in our process for applying for this loan, the department learned more about the requirement and the application process. Based on our available information at this time, is very possible that for communities with a healthy financial situation will not be available, grant will not be available, but low interest rate, 1% probably will be available for funding. The department really has no available information how successful the city will be bringing at this time those federal funding back to the city. But it's our intent to still be aggressive and applying for those grants. How I indicated before, as part of the application process, the department learned that beside the resolution to approve the reimbursement of those funds to the Water Resource Control Board, is one of the requirements is also to dedicate specific revenue from the enterprise fund to guarantee the reimbursement of those funds. In order for us to recommend for your consideration this resolution, which basically the intent of this resolution is to dedicate specific enterprise fund to for that loan payment, the city needs additional legal and financial follow-up work. Our legal department and finance department and including the city manager did not feel comfortable with the work done by us so far to make the recommendation for you to pass that resolution at this time. Will be our intent to follow up with further work on debt capacity and other legal requirements to meet the loan repayment expectation of the Water Resource Board. And after those additional work will be our intent to come back and to make further recommendations for your consideration, hopefully at our next council meeting or certainly as soon as possible. I would like also to emphasize that is our success rate to be able to be granted this low interest rate is very low, or I don't want to represent for you that our comfort level is very high in our success rate for even for this low interest loan. But in looking at in a longer term, not knowing this whole stimulus funding process is a evolving learning process for those agencies who administer those funds, and certainly a learning process for all of us also, and is very uncertain, even if in our at this first tier funding, the city will not be successful securing any of those low interest loans. Maybe another tier 2 will come, and additional federal funding will become available. Also, as you know, is the Water Reinvestment Act was already passed by the House and waiting for Senate action, and if not, as a result of this additional stimulus funding, but maybe additional more federal investment in water, how I indicated under that Water Investment Act, will become more funding available, and the city can be will be maybe more successful in the near future, also being able to bring more federal dollar back to the city, knowing how critical our need is for infrastructure in investment. As you recall, as part of our recommendation for the rate study for wastewater and water, was part of the recommended strategy to use debt financing as one of the strategy to maximize our capability to improve our infrastructures. For those reasons, even if our invested work now seems unreasonable, that this federal expectation at this time are very high, and to meet, the city needs to do lots of extra work in legal and financial area, but in long term will be investment worthwhile, that those results and the process, which process the city is going through now, will be able to be utilized later on for additional federal funding, or as part of our own strategy under the rate proposal. Will be our intent. That's the reason why this item was pulled today, and will be our intent to come back with further recommendation at your next meeting or soon after.
Thank you. Any questions from council? Okay. Thank you very much.